run, good girl. She loves it out here. Welcome back to an exciting episode of Camp Aspinall. What year is it? What day is it? It's been a minute. Happy 2026. It's April. Sun is shining.
Sun is shining and we're outside.
We're outside. We're filming again. It's been a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Lots has happened around these parts, and we thought we'd fire up the video. Hibernators, yeah. We've been hibernating for a few months now. Lots to catch you up with. This is a catch-up video, spring cleaning. Let's get us back all on the same page because we have another season of construction coming soon. I don't know where to start. Should we start with the other house, the garage house project number 2 that you were watching the last couple of years that we put up for sale at the end of last summer, last fall? So we've been required to actually insulate the foundation before we backfill. So that's been done today. Stop it right now. Look at this place. We are upstairs.
Did we tell them it was sold before?
No, this is all new to the YouTube fam. So we sold the house, the other house. Twice. It actually sold back around Christmas time, and we were supposed to close in February, and then the wonderful buyer decided to disappear on us, and it didn't close. And so that was 2 months of a headache. You know, you call insurance, and you call the utilities, and you get things transferred out of your name, and the lawyers are all set to go, and then closing date came, and there was no buyer. There was no check. So we relisted the property and it has since sold again and it's supposed to close next week. Supposed to. Now, we've been in this game long enough. What are the odds of the same property not closing twice in a row?
Probably pretty slim.
Slim, sure, but not impossible. The math teacher brain in me is like, come on, let's just get through to April 15th. That's the official closing date because we have big plans for the backyard. In fact, when the house sold the first time, we signed a contract to do some development in our backyard. And then when that buyer disappeared, we were like, what are we going to do? Anyway, fast forward to today. We are 90% through the permit application for a big backyard development. We were talking about building next door at the other garage tiny house, and as you know, that didn't happen. We've been doing book publishing as well. Lots of moving parts right now. Long story short, we're putting in a pool and installing a studio ADU apartment, workspace in our backyard. Insert those blueprints right here. Concept. There's going to be a backyard studio cabin adjacent to the pool that needs to be 3 feet in the ground and also above ground because of the water table, because of where we are. It's going to be a shower in there. There's going to be a little kitchenette in there and a bed and a YouTube studio space. Spots to podcast and do all the things because it's hard to do it in 400 square feet, which is what we currently live in.
And we have lots of fun ideas and we'll see if they come to fruition.
Steph's got the fun ideas. Brian's like, I'm just here to swing hammers and go with the flow.
Well, you help me with the design. You're going to do all the work, though.
I'm pretty sure the guy from the town did this one. The guy who drew it, the blueprints, designed that. So we don't know if the siding's going to look like that. This is just a concept. What do you think, though? Who wants to come and stay with us?
Although the door's going to be on this big side.
Yeah, patio door's going to be on this side instead of this side.
You want me to get the other
Things
one?
are going to change. There, that's the right one. This was the updated drawing. That's what the cabin's going to look like in the backyard, and do-do-do-do-do.
Gardens here.
Yeah.
So what I was thinking is those would be the blueberry bushes, because they don't, all the way around.
Oh, very cool. We putting stairs in,
So,
too?
you can be in the pool and be like, I
Oh,
want
blueberries! I want fresh blueberries! Wow! Going to sit on the ground, we have to pour a cement slab. We have to dig up our driveway currently because it's poured cement. We have to run utilities out there, water, wastewater, hydro. We ran hydro a couple of summers ago to the Sea-Doo lifts out back. We did videos on that, the pond. We have to get locates done because some of that hydro is going to have to be dug up. We got to run services from the street. The water main is currently in this building, so we have to tie into that and then run it back out, all the way back out there. 3-4 months is what they're projecting. IRCA is the water people who are responsible for approving permit builds when you're so close to the lake, has approved. The building department from the town has approved. What are we waiting for? Money?
Easter weekend to be over?
Every day seems to be a holiday right now. Hey fam, check this out. Like, holy smokes. By the way, welcome back to the dock. It's beautiful.
It's nice enough to be out here.
It's beautiful. We're getting a sunburn on April 6th. All right, here's what we're doing.
This is the pool. This is, why is it in front of my face? This is our pool. We chose Larimar.
I'm rusty.
It's a Quebec company, and they're fiberglass? Are they fiberglass?
They're fiberglass. For these harsh Canadian winters we get at latitude 42.
Yeah.
Don't forget, we live in southern Canada, as far south in mainland Canada as you can be, further south than like a third of the United States.
So,
but we still get winters here, don't you know?
ultra resistant, blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah. Skip,
Blah, blah, blah.
skip, skip.
Anyway, we got the one with the, I don't know if you can see right there. That's the pool ledge, the tanning ledge we really wanted. Right there.
For you and the dog?
So exciting.
That's not the color we chose.
That's the most exciting part. Oh no, it comes in all these colors. Like, look. Look.
Show all the colors we didn't pick. Which one did we pick?
We picked this one.
The dark one.
Yeah,
It's got a cenote feel, you know, for our Mexico travels.
Called, I was
Looks
trying
like
to
a
get
lagoon.
the word in there. Galaxy.
Galaxy is the name.
Yeah, so it'll be dark, and it has the ledges you can sit on along the side. It's awesome.
Been to a few vacation resorts in recent time, eh, Steph?
A few.
It's time to get the patio furniture back out. Spring has sprung.
We didn't lose any fish over the winter.
No, we didn't lose any fish over the winter. They're all still there.
They're all kind of turned.
I left the boat out all winter. That was poor choices, but we'll see what happens with that. All right, so it's gonna go right there. Pool's going right there. Building's going right here. All the greenhouse and all the trees, this whole vegetable garden, it all has to get moved. This is where the studio, granny suite apartment is going to be right here. Pool adjacent to it. All the way out to where Steph is waving on the other side. So it's gonna be a big backyard construction here at the lake. New photo disc. Look, it's a what's it called? Peppuccino. It's a peppuccino. It's a cappuccino with vanilla milk. A marshmallow on top. Aw. I got sticky marshmallow on the lens. Hope you can hear us over the wind. We're down here at the public beach enjoying a coffee, reflecting on the books we put out in the winter months. Let's talk about that for a second. Some of our big YouTube content creators, Joe Robinet's book came out at the end of November, did exceptionally well.
Surviving Joe.
Surviving Joe. It's all about Joe's life in the backcountry, his accident, his new documentary. Then we put out a book by Brent Outdoors. He's a Canadian explorer of abandoned places, plane crashes, things out in the bush. It's called Off-Grid Adventures, a collection of lost histories and haunting mysteries. It's full of QR codes, so you can follow Brent's adventures, watch some of the videos of his explorations that he's done across this beautiful country of Canada. And just last week, we published Building Kyle's Cabin by Kyle and Sierra from northern Minnesota. If you've been a big fan of Kyle's Cabin on YouTube, you're going to love listening to the backstory, how he got started living out of his truck in Alaska. Guy booked a one-way flight to Alaska in his 20s, lived out of his truck, started building log cabins, started flipping log cabins, built a big YouTube channel. Now he's an international best-selling author. His book hit bestseller status this weekend in the United States and Canada.
On Easter weekend.
On Easter weekend. So now you're caught up. So all of those projects are available, codebreakeredu.com. Check them out. Woo! Look at that today. It's not frozen anymore.
Someone's excited. one boat.
There's a boat in the harbor, people. There is a boat in the harbor. That's it. That's the official. There's one boat in the slip. Hello. I like your optimism. Want to go put the Sea-Doos in?
Yeah, let's go for a ride.
Hello, Ohio. Sorry. Hello, Michigan. Hello, Ohio. And way that way across Lake Erie is Pennsylvania. Water's high. Normally you can see a lot of the bottom sand in here. A lot of wishes, a lot of fishies. It's pretty cloudy, pretty murky because it all just melted. This was all frozen, right? A couple of weeks ago. It's gorgeous! We're just moments away from the garage cabin house number 2 that you watched us build the last couple of seasons, and this might be the last time you see it. 9 days till close, if it closes this time.
It will. That never happens. It was weird that it happened.
We're just doing our due diligence, checking on the place every 24, 36, 48 hours. We did have a massive tree come down in the backyard. We'll show you that here momentarily.
Hello. Hello, salt sign. Hello.
There she is. There she be. Do you remember? Do you remember? Well, if you're new around here, we've spent the last couple of seasons converting this used to be a garage, converting this garage into a beautiful resort house right here on Lake Erie. The lake is right there. And we listed it for sale last fall, and we've been playing that sort of real estate game all winter. Now here we are. Key will not work. I'll show you the inside. Oh, hello, gorgeous! Do you remember this? Do you remember the soaring 20-foot ceilings?
This beam,
This beautiful beam that we left. Let's get some lights in here for the cameras.
which is cut off, so it was totally like
That's
when
where
it was a barn. This is like OG.
Yeah, there's a header in there. This used to be a big garage door right there. So, now look at it. 1 year later, survived the winter. No issues, nothing. No frozen pipes. This worked like a dream. It's brand new. It's incredibly efficient. Keep the plumbing from freezing in the bathroom. Everything else, so nothing new to report here, but I'll take you upstairs real quick. For those of you that are new around here, this is the building that's going to fund the new development at our place. The money has to come from somewhere. So this flip is what's going to fund the studio build, the pool house, the pool at our place back at home. Here we are in the primary loft. It's massive. This property did require a unique buyer because on paper it's 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. Now, the bedroom's 400 square feet. It's a full-on primary loft apartment. It's more of like a resort house at the lake, but that requires a special kind of buyer because there is no wall up here. So I think the buyer is a younger male gentleman, single, perfect spot for somebody at their first home. Yep. Get my finger out of there so it's clear. This tree sat on all 4 property lines right in the corner and went into their yard this winter and took out all the fences. So that's being fixed, but not by me this time. Taking the stuff home. There's a broom in here too, I think, somewhere. Did you get it already? I clean everything up before closing. Always try and leave it nice. Extra cabinets in there, extra flooring in there. Say goodbye. Finally. Remember last summer, this is a double wide yard. In fact, this building sits on 2 lots, and there's a lot next door that you can sever. We have permission from the town to build there. The new buyer asked for permission to build there, and they've been given that as well. So that's what we were going to do. At one time, we were going to rent out this property, this building. We were going to build that next door. But last summer, we decided to cut and run and build and try and create the equity on our own land, our own place. What we realized over this winter is for the last 5 or 6 years, we have flipped a number of houses, but our own property has taken a back seat. We're 2 people that we just want to work and work and work and work and invest and invest and invest and invest and everything else that we plan to flip and sell and renovate, but we don't do that on our own land. So this year that's changing. We're gonna build the development in the backyard so that we can get HELOCs and do all kinds of crazy other things on the lake.
Just make your house beautiful for us for once.
Yeah, look what we do for everybody else. I almost moved here.
Almost, we were close.
Steph's saying goodbye to the trees. We'll get another one.
Remember it was almost dead because of all the ants and I cut off the ant part?
Yeah, I do. It was almost dead and Steph saved it. So
They'll cut it down.
it's gonna go because they're gonna build in here, yeah. Goodbye. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks so much for watching. As always, peace and love from Canada's most southern mainland shoreline. Give somebody close to you, tell them you matter. Don't forget you matter. If you're still here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, the like button, leave us a comment down below, and we'll catch you all on the next one.